Real quick, what this is, 3D archery. We're outdoors now, obviously. Outdoor, it's somewhat like golf. You're shooting a foursome.
Right.
Okay. All right. You have different classes, obviously. I'm an old guy, so I get to shoot seniors. And then we have female classes, and we have the little guy classes, and the stakes are laid out as such. The white stake is for what we call open pro, and the open pro setup is basically the long stabilizer, having a scope with
Goodness, look at that thing.
with yardage clicks. Okay.
Do you use that hunting?
No.
Yeah, it
No.
takes too much
We've got the
time.
hunting bow.
Okay.
Yeah. This is strictly for shooting outdoor 3D.
Tell the nice people in TV land, why would you put all this on your bow? It looks really awkward and,
Well, it helps stabilize the bow. Keeps you, from canning your bow to the left, canning your bow to the right.
What is this back? Is this a back balance to the?
Just a back balance to the front, just to get the bow perfectly balanced.
Okay.
Front and back, and you just play with your weights and stuff. These weights screw off, and you can add weight to the front, take weight off the front. Obviously, the sight has a bubble on it, so you want especially when you're standing on a hill like this, you have a tendency to want to do this and shoot with the lay of the land. So you want to keep your bow straight and keep that bubble straight, and the weights and everything assist with doing all that.
Are there guys that shoot 3D instinctively without using sights?
Oh yeah, there's a class for that as well. Yeah, your old recurve guys that shoot with
How good are the best ones? I mean, can they compete with guys that use sights, or not even close?
No, not even close.
Not even close.
Because what we're after, there's a scoring zone about the size of a quarter.
Oh my word.
That we're going to aim for from right here.
So like a golfer, you got to be an expert at judging distance. No, you can't use a distance finder in 3D.
You can't. No, you can. You can carry one with you. You can in the national tournaments. You're not allowed to have one in your stool. But on like the weekend shoots like what we do, you can have one, because what we want to do, we practice, and then we'll want to know if we got the yardage right or not. So we'll do the yardage measurement after that.
From where we are right here, and don't even pay attention to these markers, how far would you say it is from here to that deer?
I'm going to say probably 34, 35 yards.
And I'd have said 31, and I'd probably have been in trouble.
I don't know. We'll see here in a minute.
Do you have a yardage
Sure do.
measure?
Yep, sure do.
But in the better tournaments, you can't use you just got to guess, and that's really the heart of 3D, right?
That's the thing, right. You can be the best shot in the world, but if you can't judge yardage,
you're out of business.
See, and I'm a pretty good shot.
It's a lot like golf.
My problem is, I don't judge real good. This man here does them both. He judges real good.
Right.
But let's see. Let's see how good we were here.
I'm sure you're a lot closer. 36, 34, 31.
Well, we're all in trouble.
What is it?
It is 39.
Whoa, I missed that deer. 39?
It's 39.
And that really, I think this really even proves a point when you're hunting. Why a lot of bow hunters like me, and I guess you guys too, like I carry a yardage, a rangefinder with me.
Right.
Now mine's 10 years old and whatever, but it still does the job.
Right.
Because when if you don't know the exact distance, what happens? You wound deer.
You wound or you miss.
Or you miss.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that thing's 30, that thing you said was how many
39.
yards? 39 yards.
Right.
Now if I had guessed 31 yards, okay, what would have happened?
4 yards in front of it.
4 yards in front of it, and buried your arrow in the leaves down there.
In the leaves. I just killed some leaves.
That
That'd have been a problem.
Killed some leaves. That wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
And you would have got a 0, which that's not good in tournament archery.
That's not a lot of fun. That's kind of embarrassing.
Right. It's hard to recover from 0, because archery is somewhat like golf, and there is like a par scoring system. Okay. When we shoot, though, an up score is good, and I'll explain that in a minute, because basically there's par. The scoring system is 12, 10, 8, 5, or 0, because you just buried an arrow in the leaves, like you said. Okay, so.
Did I say 31? Okay.
So the goal is to shoot all 12s.
All 12s.
But we're aiming at something the size of a quarter, and in some instances a dime, depending upon the target. And okay, so the goal is to shoot all 10s. Okay, I mean, you really want to shoot 10s and pick up a 12 along the way every once in a while. Okay.
Okay, and how many stations are there in a 3D tournament? 20.
Well, and it's a 2-day shoot in these tournaments. So it's 20 on Saturday, 20 on Sunday.
So a perfect score would be 40 times 12. Is that right?
Yeah, what I call a perfect score, yeah. An even score would be 400. And when we shoot in these national tournaments, you'll come off a course and well, what'd you shoot? You know, and everybody, it'll be, I shot 2 up, I shot 6 up, because everybody knows the standard is 400. Okay, so.
Is there no handicap like golf? Because, you know, one great thing about golf is if you really stink,
Right.
you know, you get a 25 handicap, or in my case, a 50 handicap, and you can go play,
Right.
or you can play best ball. But in this thing,
no handicaps, no mulligans. You just, you know.
but are there classes? So, like, let's say a guy's a beginner, or a high school kid, or even a young kid.
Yes.
Even if he goes in a younger class bracket, I mean, there are going to be some kids that can really shoot.
Oh, yeah, and there are.
Right?
Yeah, right.
And so your first time out, you're thinking, it's like going to the gym, like we were talking about, like, I really don't want to go in there, everybody's great. Well, they are great.
Yeah.
So how do you get the courage to come shoot 3D when everybody's great and you're thinking, well, I can barely shoot?
Well, you start out like pros. We start out in open sea.
Okay.
And the way that it's set up, you can win so much money before they bump you out and move you to open B. And then you win so much money.
Oh, you can make money?
And
Sweet.
then they bump you up
I mean,
to open A, and
yeah.
then semi-pro and on up to pro.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
kind
I
of like professional baseball where you have major leagues, AAA, AA, single A, okay? The archery's the same way. Like I shoot, you know, obviously my goal is to shoot senior open professional, okay? I can still win money though. Now, I shoot senior open.
Yeah.
The only difference between me and the other guy is he's willing to fork over the extra $200 to shoot, you know, senior open professional, where I'll just shoot senior open. Now, I've shot scores against, you know, senior open professionals that have matched. I mean, but again, they're shooting further away too. So.
Right. And so, okay, so when we come maybe to Sherwood and do 3D, you said there are 20 stations?
20 stations.
And they're all different animals.
Right.
Like what? Besides deer, there might be bear.
Javelina.
Javelina, that's one I need to look up and Google
go.
search that. What else? What else they have?
Fox.
Fox.
Hyena.
Several different kinds of deer, like you'll have a bedded deer, you'll have a
Standing deer.
a feeding deer.
They have
different things like that.
They have a large deer and then they have a small deer, because all of that plays into your
that's real life.
That yardage, right?
And what's the range and placement of target from closest to furthest?
You have a max distance, like say for open, max distance may be 45 yards.
Right.
If you're shooting open pro, it would be out to 50 yards max. And so you could
That's pretty amazing considering what you're aiming for is this size.
Right.
And you can't see it.
You can't see
you
it.
look at it right here, you can't see. where
You
that
can't see the
12
score.
ring
Yeah,
is.
you can't see. You have no idea from
Well,
here.
then-
We know where it is by virtue of we shoot all the time.
Can you put a magnification lens on your
Sure.
sight?
Yeah,
That's
most
cool.
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
What about old guys like me that have a little bit of that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just natural. When you hold a bow, even if you've got great technique, you're gonna move a little bit.
you're gonna move a little
Do you have to
bit,
time it and kind of feel it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you are
part of the game.
Yeah, you are allowed to use binoculars. Okay, so, you know, we are allowed to, like, I wonder if the 12 ring that I was telling you about, I wonder if it's on the left side of this deer or if it's on the right side. So you can use binoculars to, and even with binoculars, sometimes it's really hard to pick up because it's just etched into the foam. There's really not a.
All right, and okay, and maybe we'll quit yapping and actually shoot. But if you don't, you will look down at that deer and you'll see where the 12 is with your binoculars.
Right.
Okay, and then so you know where it is, but when you're aiming, how do you put your aim point? I mean, how do you create a good shot? How do you aim at something you can't see?
I mean, you just try to stay in that general vicinity. I mean, for the most part, we'll look down there. You pick spots. You pick the contour of the animal. Like, okay, I know that the 12 ring is to the left, right behind the elbow where his elbow has been in his leg.
Right.
And you pretty much just try to hold there. You know.
But
shoot and pray.
but the best part about this is just when you start doing it, and it's really, really fun, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's a blast.
Doug, what's your mental talk right now? I mean, I know a lot of this is muscle memory, but when you come up, whether it's in competition or even right now, you got a camera on you. Okay, so maybe you're a little tiny bit nervous, all right? But here you are. Are you saying anything to yourself?
The head talk is making sure that, you know, I'm not gripping the bow, that I'm doing like there's a 20-step process supposedly that you go through, okay? That when I draw, that my anchor point, that the string is touching my nose, that my wrist is touching, you know, thumb is touching the part of my cheekbone down here, and just that
Same
everything,
thing every
single
time.
time,
Right.
because it's consistency, and that everything just feels good and feels right, you know. And
Breathing, what do you do with breathing?
breathing, I actually like inhale and kind of hold, and aim, and then shoot, you know.
Okay.
And the main thing is, with me is, you know, I don't know how but we have these trigger releases, obviously.
True
you know,
ball
and
made in Lynchburg,
there you
Virginia,
go,
I
made in-
believe.
You're absolutely
yes, sir,
right,
buddy.
absolutely right. A lot of these guys shoot back tension releases.
Yeah.
And from that, what I mean is they actually just use the back tension. There's nothing to punch, and the release goes off because of back tension and them kind of twisting the release, okay? Because I do shoot a thumb release, that's something I've got to be aware of as well. Not to, you know, to basically gently squeeze and not punch. You know, you'll have a tendency to, once you get on the target, to want to punch. And when
Right.
you punch, you know, punching is not good.